Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to have you here. Today's video we're going to be talking about why you're finding it difficult to get clients and no one is hiring you. If you're a virtual assistant or freelancer and you're finding it very difficult to get clients, these 5 things may be the reason why you're struggling with this. So if you want to find out, then stay tuned and watch till the end of the video. Number 1, the first reason you might be having trouble finding clients is because you have a skill set mismatch. So here's what that means. In the first place, as a virtual assistant, you have to pick out the skills that you will be offering to your clients as your services. Now, you can choose to do just one thing and really niche down, or you could choose to do a couple of things, which is what many people usually go for. So the thing is, when you're a beginner, you're not really sure what you like yet, and you haven't really built authority in any particular skill set. So people like to mix and match to see what exactly they like doing, also to give them as many opportunities to make money. Now the problem with that is that if you mix 2 skills that does not make any sense, you end up looking like a beginner and like you don't know what you're doing when you're actually just trying to make money. And I'll give you a very good example. So let's say you're a graphic designer and you design graphics, social media graphics for clients, and that is one of the skills that you offer. And then a good example of a good match with graphic design would be something like video editing, copywriting, maybe photo editing, or something along those lines. Because if people are looking for graphics for their social media, they are most likely also looking for assistance with videos, because we all know that a lot of the social media platforms now, such as TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, everybody has stories or reels nowadays, so it's very important to have video as part of your platform. If in addition to your graphic design services, you say something like you also do bookkeeping, that will be very confusing, because the client is like, are you a bookkeeper, a bookkeeping assistant, or are you a graphic designer? Because they don't necessarily match. If you design graphics and you say you design websites on the side as well, it makes sense because both of them are inside of design. So in that case, you'll be doing something similar. And another way you can match things properly will be to do something complementary, which will be the case of graphic design and copywriting. So if you're offering services and you're mixing and matching things wrongly, you lose credibility and it just seems like you're a jack of all trades trying to make a quick buck. So you have to be very careful to make sure that whatever services that you're offering to create your packages, whether they be hourly packages or fixed price packages, that they make sense not just to you but to your client as well, and they can see how, number one, how you can provide them with value, and they can also see how you can be an expert in both things. So that's a very good example of a skill mismatch problem. Now, how do you fix this? Is to go over all your services and make sure that if you're offering, number one, too many services, then you want to clean that up and streamline it. And if you aren't, make sure that the services that you're offering make sense together. And rather than adding new things, work on actually making yourself even better at the skills you offer so that you can increase your prices. And the longer you do something, you actually build credibility and authority in that particular skill. Now, let's go to the second one. Number 2 is your pricing. Pricing is a very, very sensitive part of running a virtual assistant business, because unlike your normal employee kind of business where you just negotiate the salary and you are paid something fixed monthly, you get to choose how you want to be paid, how much you're going to be paid, and in fact, what way you want to be paid. So your pricing really matters, because there are a lot of virtual assistants online nowadays, and if you don't price your services in such a way that it can really speak to the value of what you bring to the client, then most people will just be turned away. Now, I'm not talking about price shoppers that just message you and say, hey, I know that you do social media management, how much are your prices? And then they say, okay, somebody else is cheaper. I'm not talking about those people. But if you price it in such a way that it is now confusing to the client, or if you notice that whenever you tell people your prices and you tell them what they get for that particular price, they start to nitpick every single time. It may be that the way you have packaged it for that price point is just confusing to the client, and they don't understand how it will make sense to price at that price point. I'll give you an example. So for example, if you say that you charge $150 for a PowerPoint presentation, and then you say if you have a PowerPoint presentation of up to 20 pages, you charge $150. This is just for an example. And then the client is like, all right. And then you now say on your website, this is your website, this client is not actually talking to you one-on-one. And then on your website, they now see that you are charging one page of any PowerPoint design for $50 per page. Nobody is going to buy the $50 per page design, because they'll be like, if it's $50 per page, that means 50 times 20 will be $1,000. But she's saying that if you want 20 pages upfront, she's charging $150. So it's kind of confusing. The client doesn't know what to do. And number two, they may be thinking, if I want more than 20 pages, does that mean I have to start paying $50 per additional page? And that can just deter them from talking to you totally, because they're like, well, this pricing doesn't make sense. And some of them will not want to reach out to you because they don't want to sound like they are trying to bargain or they are trying to insult you because of your pricing. So it's very important that you price properly. And even when you're increasing your prices, you have to make sure that the price that you are attaching to your service matches the quality of service that you provide. For example, if you're charging premium prices with 4 figures attached to them, you want to make sure that your entire client process, your website, your branding, your emails, how you communicate with clients, the way you behave has to match that price point. So you cannot just be messaging somebody from a free Gmail account at random hours of the day with typographical errors and you expect them to pay you $7,000 for a particular project. It won't make sense. They'll be like, well, this doesn't seem like it's worth that amount. But when you have your client systems streamlined and they see that all your correspondence makes sense and the way you have arranged everything is just that premium client experience, people do not hesitate to pay premium prices. And that's it. So if you have issues getting clients, you should check your pricing and make sure that it matches your skill set and the experience that you are providing your clients. Number 3 thing, and this refers to when there is a job opportunity posted online or even on marketplaces. And number 3 thing here is that you are failing to follow instructions. Now, as a VA, when I first got started, a lot of the time I had to apply to jobs that were posted on Facebook or on Instagram, or somebody would send me a link to somebody looking for a job. And one of the reasons why many virtual assistants get disqualified is because they don't follow simple instructions. For example, the client might say, I would like you to fill out this Google form in order to get the job. And then you see VAs leaving a comment and DMing the person, like leaving a comment to say, thank you, I have filled out the form. It's not a bad idea. But if you're leaving a comment and then you're going into the DM to say, I can help you with this thing, here is my website link, here's my portfolio, and you did not even fill out the form, you're failing to follow instructions. Another example of VAs failing to follow instructions will be in cases where inside of the job post, there will be a keyword or a special word that says, in your application, write your favorite drink so that I know that you read everything. And many people don't read everything through, and that's why they do not see the keyword and automatically they get disqualified. As someone who has both been hired and has hired people, I have had experiences like this as well. I've had clients say, you were one of the very few people who actually read the entire post and I needed somebody with attention to detail, which is why I am on an interview with you right now. And in cases where I have tried to hire, I've also seen that, well, this person didn't even pay attention to any of the instructions that I provided, and that just shows me that you are not a very professional person and I would not want to hire you. So make sure that whenever you're applying for a job or you're doing anything with anybody online, if there are instructions provided, they are there for a reason and you should follow them to the T. And then you'll see that you are more likely to get a second call back or an interview or further discussion with the client. So number 4 thing that makes virtual assistants fail at getting hired is taking advice from the wrong people. So one thing I see virtual assistants do a lot is that they will go inside of a Facebook group that is filled with virtual assistants just like themselves, and they start asking for advice on how to price their services or whether or not someone is going to buy a particular service. Now, this to me makes no sense because the people that you're asking are not your ideal clients. And if they are not your ideal clients, they will not know whether or not they are going to purchase this particular product. So I'm going to use luxury items for example. If you take a Birkin bag at the expense and at the cost that they are, if you take a Birkin bag and put a poll on Facebook and say, will you buy this bag for $20,000? the overwhelming response will be no. Why? Because the people who will most likely buy a Birkin bag and probably not inside of that Facebook group that you're asking, and they probably do not also respond to polls on Facebook when they want to make bag buying decisions. So because of that, you will go with that overwhelming no and assume, well, nobody wants my service or nobody wants this at this price, and you might actually remove a good service that could have brought you clients. So it is important that whenever you're asking for feedback and advice, ask the people who you are trying to sell to. And this also applies to non-virtual assistants. So if you're trying to sell to Instagram influencers, don't go inside of a group of bloggers and start asking for their feedback, because their feedback will not apply to the influencers and vice versa. So you want to make sure that whoever you're taking advice from is an ideal client. And in most cases, if you just ask your existing clients or even people who have rejected you from a particular job application, are a much better fit to ask for feedback than from your fellow virtual assistants. Unless the person you're asking is like a coach or somebody who is like more seasoned and is like, okay, this is what you can do to get more clients. Asking people who are at the same level with you, are just starting out in their virtual assistant business, will do you more harm than good. And the next one is isolating yourself and having no network whatsoever. Now, as somebody who works from home, it's very, very easy for you to just find yourself typing up at the computer every single day. You're always on your laptop, you're always working for clients. And this comes in two ways, and I'm going to explain it. Number one, you can isolate yourself by just immersing yourself inside of your client's work. So this means that you're always working on your client's business, you're always doing your tasks, you're inside of your project management, and you're trying to wow your clients. Maybe you have one or two and you're trying to really wow them so that you can get testimonials, and you're failing to build your network. This is a mistake I made myself. So what happens is that the moment you're done with that client, you find out that you're starting from scratch to get another client. But if you're working every single day to build your network, and that includes a network of virtual assistants as well as a network of potential clients, you'll find that your business will grow much faster. Now, there are a few ways that you can do this. You can collaborate with your fellow virtual assistants in such a way that if somebody's services are complementary to yours, you can let them know that if they have clients that are looking for these services, you'll be happy to help. For example, if you work with somebody if you know someone rather who is a copywriter for entrepreneurs, you can let them know that if their clients are looking for somebody who needs social media management services, if they know anybody who needs website design services, that will be perfect. And you can actually even collaborate in such a way that the person can pitch the client the entire package while you do the rest of the work for a percentage or for a fixed price out of that package amount. And that way you don't even have to look for clients. So that's a way to build your network and get clients in one go. You can also talk to people who have agencies to see if they are hiring before they actually go out and make those job posts, because then you skip the entire interview process and all the long wait lines and everything when everybody is applying at the same time, and you skip ahead and you are first pick. Right? The second thing is that as a virtual assistant, you are also a business owner. This means every single day you have to know what your money-making activities are. You want to be able to market your business as much as possible, create content for your business. You want to talk about your services, your prices, the packages you offer, your client testimonials, how you can help people, offer value every single day. That way, even when you're not actively looking for clients, the things that you have done are out there working for you. I've had clients that reach out to me from a random post I made on Facebook from 2-3 years ago. I've had clients that reached out and said, hey, you applied for a job from a year or two ago, and then they are now calling me back to actually get the job done because I was one of the top picks from the last time they tried to hire. So you want to be able to build your network, have virtual assistant friends, have friends outside of your virtual assistant niche, which is even more important than virtual assistant virtual assistant friends, because they are the ones that will pay you money. They are the ones that will tell their friends about your services and get you clients that will pay you money. So this is really important. So building a network of your own, for yourself and for your business is really, really important. If you're looking to build a very profitable virtual assistant business from scratch, working from home without using any sleazy techniques, then you will love my course that is launching soon. I will leave a link in the description so that you can sign up for the wait list, because we're opening and we're launching and it's going to be amazing. The course will help you to start your virtual assistant business, and if you already have one, it will help you to grow your virtual assistant business and get you to making up to 5K per month. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how I built mine from scratch. I'll give you all the things that you need and skip out all the unnecessary things that are just a waste of time, so that you don't have to be running around the internet trying to take advice from everybody without knowing whether it's good advice or not. So check the link in the description to see when we're launching again, and I think it will be perfect for you. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.